it's alive. This time, in this moment, it is. Or I think, like, at this point, this is when the first 30 people tap on YouTube and they click away. There's probably not going to be a wardrobe malfunction, although I will show my butt. Backwards. It's the second part to the athletic outfit I have that is like backwards athletic wear. I can't even say it because it shouldn't exist, but I love that it does. Backwards athletic wear, because who fucking goes and exercises then smokes a blunt? Oh well, fucking bitches that wear backwards athletic wear, that's who. Okie dokie, because I'm alive again. Although I reserve the right not to do this whenever I don't want to do this, I am doing it. It means it actually it helps a lot if I'm actually rewatching them, and I will definitely go on streaks while I will rewatch these, and then I'm like, oh man, I like all my cool shit. Like, oh, I'm learning about me, but damn it, I don't know where my glasses are. I think I'm in the frame. Yes. God, I'm sorry if I'm ugly. Just click away. Go on to something else. I know, like, I got... Oh, shit. I'm gonna move the mirror again. My mirror's turned around so that I can't see me when I, like, walk around my room. And I'm really blessed because all my mirrors are on wheels, so I can turn them around not to see me when I'm in my room. I obviously, like, right now putting on my makeup, and then I will do, you know, when I'm getting dressed, which is one of the hardest points of my day right now. I know it shouldn't be. I know I'm fucking crazy, but I am. I'm fucking crazy. One of the hardest parts of my day is getting dressed right at this moment. I'm a big fan of clothes that I can, like, sleep and exercise and, like, eat. Like, I was a big fan of pajamas all the fucking time. I love that, like, all exercise wear should be easy to sleep in. I know it's not, but all that I wear is. Okie dokie. Because I'm alive again, we're going to continue these questions. And I haven't really posted to, like, ask any more questions because I haven't really been rewatching these and clipping them, or even doing the, like, little clip. Honestly, because I don't have money and shit, like, I couldn't afford the subscription to the video, the service I use to edit videos. So it's just like, for a while I'm just not editing them, but I probably will again. The free one is harder to use, and I don't like the product more so, but you know, fuck me, beggars can't be choosers. Although, God, if life didn't fuck me so freely, so regularly, I would think I was worth something. Alright, have you ever embarrassed yourself trying to flirt? I don't think I've ever smoothly tried to flirt. Like, even at, like, the times where odds were so stacked in my favor, where, like, they were gonna reciprocate, and at this very last moment, it's just the fact that I want to flirt with them, and then it's like, oh my God, do you deserve something you want? That, like, will trip me up. I don't know. Flirting's hard. Rejection is... I think all human beings suffer from rejection PTSD to some degree. If you're a human being that's out there having no rejection PTSD, you're probably a narcissist. Which is also cool. We can love a narcissist. It's just like, whoa, homie, hold up. You're about to get rejected. You can't go... If you are alive right now and have never suffered rejection PTSD... I hate to be the one to tell you this, but it doesn't get better. You're gonna get some of that. I can't believe you went this long to be able to figure out online usage and then be watching an Instagram story and not have rejection PTSD, because that's like what most of us are being, like, running on. So yes, I have embarrassed myself trying to flirt. What's your most iconic oops moment? I don't think that I really would have an iconic one. I would love for it to be as hot as Janet Jackson's, even though that, like, ruined so much for her, because people can't handle a fucking tit on live TV. Well, this is why we don't get nipples on live TV. Wouldn't we all like some nipples on live TV? I think we all would. But you know what? We don't get them because we ruined Janet Jackson's life. You want to know whose life wasn't ruined? Justin Timberlake. And he wasn't trying to be a bad guy. They thought they had a thing planned out. But no, people fucking apparently hated women back at that time. The aughts were fraught for the ladies. If you had a tit shown on TV, even if it was kind of more or less against your own decision, your career was going to be ruined. Kate Moss could do it because she had no tits. Janet Jackson definitely had tits. She had something to see. I wish my most iconic oops moment would be like, something as hot as a wardrobe malfunction. Especially with Dress to Kill, and the way Dress to Kill is always just one wardrobe malfunction away from being full on Super Bowl. I still, like, my greatest oops moments are honestly probably just my stupid ass falls. When I fell in the fire, when I fell hella ate shit in front of a crush, like, a little over a year ago. Oh, God, so bad the comedy venue I was in, like, felt bad for me. They're like, poor Amy. So yeah, all the times I've been like clumsy. Also, a personal oops that just doesn't sit well with me, even though people always really forgive me for it, is when I get names and faces wrong. Especially if it's like something I could call a Josue, and it's like actually Jose, like it's like, God, fucking kill me. And they'll always be nice, like, no, it's like, this is my name. And I'm like, God, I'm so sorry, I got it wrong. Why does God even let me speak? Why does it make me wake up in the morning? All I do is fuck up. My best is ruining things. I have nothing right on the back because I haven't posted any questions and shit lately. Kobe. Alright. What do you do when secondhand embarrassment strikes? I'm a weird person for so secondhand embarrassment means I'm with someone and I'm embarrassed for them. A lot of the times when I would say, especially with open mic comedy, I've way more often been in the case where like a homie is embarrassed and I know they shouldn't be. Like I know they're fine. Like I know like what it was that they're embarrassed about isn't as bad as what they think it is. So I feel kind of like protective and like, you know, I have to then remember like the mom, even though I don't have children, the mom has part of me that wants to real quick be like, hey, it's okay. Like, you know, you write your personal rubric, but it's like, okay, taper off of that. Now, secondhand embarrassment, when I've seen like a homie actually acting a fool, like being very rude or like not being respectful in a place, that like, so a lot of the people I might roll close with, I can kind of mutter something to them and they'll be like, oh shit, I didn't realize that was like, but, if it's like someone like that I might be more intimidated by, I just gotta sit back and let them make their own choices because I know that there's nothing I could say that would necessarily influence them. You sit back and just say a fucking little prayer that they don't embarrass themselves too bad or make too bad of a decision. But at that point, if I don't have influence over them, I really cannot be secondhand embarrassed for them. I'm already dealing with my own self firsthand embarrassment. All right. Whoa. The next section is sad. It's death, grief, and the unknowable. So, whoa. Let's see what they ask. Let's see how I answer. God damn, it's a big question and category. Let's see. I'm so glad for the eyeshadow break today because I'm taking an eyeshadow break from these questions today. All right. What's your earliest experience with death? I had a fish die, and I blamed my mom. And in retrospect, it wasn't her fault. But then in knowledge, it actually was her fault because she didn't know how to clean fish bowls. So she was using this kind of soap that you would use for any kind of dish, and it did kill the fish. But if I remember correctly, we had 3 fish, and it was the weakest one that died, and I guess my favorite. But it's okay because I named it Joey, and then we had my brother, and we just named him Joseph, and it totally made up for it. Now I'm not even sad about the fish. I have a whole ass brother and a whole ass nephew on the way. Anyway, Joey was way weaker than Winkin or Blinkin. And anyway, honestly, consider him lucky. He's the first of the 3 that got to go to heaven. Winkin and Blinkin had to watch Joey die. And be like, is this going to happen to us? And yes, it did. It happened to both of them. Neither of those fish are still alive. But my brother, Joseph, is. What's really funny is when I told him he was named after a fish, he cried. Because it wasn't true, and I think that's why he cried, is because he cried over my lie. But I thought he would find it flattering. It was one of those things I said that made him cry that I didn't intend to make him cry. And then I was like, oh shit, I made him sad off that. And that kind of made me mad to make him sad off that. So I kind of hit it hard. See that as a Little Women, dude. Cat Bud has problems, I can tell. After a while of it being on, which is not even a while, like 7 minutes, it starts to static. Cat butt is, if you can hear music at all and it sounds fucked up, it's from my speaker, which is a cat butt. Who was the first person you lost that hurt deeply? Well, the first person is specifically what they ask. I actually had like a whole thing with animal death. I was a big fan of writing eulogy for animals when I was a kid. Eulogies for animals. My neighbors lose a cat. Well, I was friends with that cat. I was a weird kid, obviously. Like, I was friends with that cat. So I was like a big fan of writing eulogies for animals. But the first person I lost that I loved deeply was my grandpa. And it was very much, like, there's almost a bitterness in my life now that I kind of like, a little chip on my shoulder of that, I think, still. Because it was like my first experience with death. And I was like, all right, Amy. And I kind of like, I was 13 when I first found out he had cancer. So, like, I had watched friends lose their uncle. Like, I learned to hug friends, or, like, lose their grandpas. I had learned to hug friends off of watching friends in elementary school lose, like, grandparents or people in their family that mattered, aunts and uncles, or various, like, things, and then figuring out, like, oh, I see the way we mourn. The way we mourn is we hug. It's not that I'm an alien. It's that I'm autistic, I think, is what that must have been. I don't know what else to blame it on. I'm not trying to blame. I did learn. I'm going to be better about hugs. I love hugs. So I learned how to, like, kind of hug people. But then, like, yeah, so then I knew eventually one of my family people would probably get something. And so it was my grandpa. But then they kind of faked me out. Like, don't fucking give me hope. They were like, okay, so your grandpa's cancer, and it's either the kind that's going to be super duper easy, where it's going to, like, nip it in the butt, or it's the kind of cancer that's going to fucking kill him. And then it was like 2 days later, it's the cancer that fucking kills him. And then 3 months later, he's fucking dead. Like, ew, this is why I don't go to the doctor. I just want to die in my sleep in peace without knowing this shit comes up. Like, surprise. Bitch had cancer all this time, and I was, like, bawling. Kobe. It was like one summer my grandpa was driving me to my acting classes and telling me that I was going to an Oscar, even though I was as much of a turdy spaz as I am now. And the next moment, he was dead. The next summer, he was dead. So that was like, I was like, ah, oh, man, to this day, I'm a little bit like, that's just how life be, huh? I found happiness. If I keep living, I'll probably win that Oscar, and it'll be the funniest movie that ever won an Oscar. I know the horror movies have been winning them, but it's going to be the most Monty Python-ass Sacramento movie. Or I'll die, and I'm fine with both of those things. My grandpa was my homie. He knew my name before I did. And I think the meaning of it before even my parents did, although they gave it to me. And I knew the meaning in that. I feel lucky that I haven't lost more people. I've lost friends now, of course. I'm in my 30s and fentanyl's been a thing. How do you grieve? Loudly or quietly? I will grieve however the fuck I want to grieve. I will grieve at Zoodcast. That was the last time I had a good grief. One of the best, about a year ago, we lost, in the Sacramento comedy scene, lost a really great up-and-comer and a really nice dude, Chris Robledo. And mourning him was, that was probably the last big mourning I really had for someone. I don't know, let me do eyeshadow. The last really big kind of, morning I had for a friend. Shit, before that probably be Brittany. Chris Crone though died, but I was a lot closer to Chris Robledo. It was a year of good Chris's lost to last year. That's for damn sure. Some damn good Chris's lost last year. Rip, 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 Crone. Rip, 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 Ropolito. It's the first time I ever had a comic death where they do this moment of silence, but it's not a moment of silence. It's a moment of applause where we just give them all the applause that we don't like get to see to give them anymore. Oof, that was something. All right, I'm going to do eyeshadow. Process all my shit. Come back. Everything on YouTube, Resurrected. Yay. The Thirst Trap is only for Resurrected YouTube. Backwoods athletic wear, because you know sometimes you just want to exercise, sometimes you just want to do some Pilates and smoke a fucking blunt. All right, sometimes you just want to go to do some Pilates and then roll up a few fucking blunts, huh? Is that so bad? Do some Pilates and some fucking blunts. Is that so bad? No, now I get it. Now I get the backwoods wear. I'm not talking shit. I am talking too much. Always a little bit talking too much. I had the worst case of hiccups that I solved while gone. I don't know how I solved it. I actually had to end up praying. I was like, God, please fucking take the hiccups away. And we'll see if they come back. ChatGPT. Getting continually better at eyeshadow. I'm really proud of my little robot sister for learning it. The colors that I'm using today are all off of the Pretty Rich palette. Neither of which I am, but both of which my eyeshadows are. I'm not pretty or rich. But the colors that I used were Diamond Glitterati, Diamond Life, Coal, Under Pressure. That makes a diamond too. Oh shit, it's a theme. Well, I wish it was a little more of a friend so I wasn't so lonely, because they say that. Maybe with all these diamond tone things on my eyes, I won't get so lonely today. Fat fucking chance. Fatter than I am. Feeling. Set the jewel tone in Princess Cut. Yeah, alright. Then we move on to the questions, which are death and grief combined is deef, which sounds way less serious than death or grief. So deef in the unknowable. Do you fear death? No, I crave it. Well, my big promise to the thing I know is that I won't take any action to end myself, because if I take no action to end myself, my death will be a peaceful one, if I even see it. If not, it's like, I might be able to be lucky enough to watch it end with everyone, although I don't think it ends the way everyone always portrays or thinks. I do not fear death. I crave and pray for it on the reg. However, because although beggars shouldn't be choosers, and I am begging for death, I do get a little choosy sometimes where I'm like, no, not that way. And it's just like, bitch, shut up and take death when death. It's just, I don't go to the doctor. I'm not gonna fucking like know I have cancer. That will just like sneak up on me. But like, if there was a moment where someone was trying to kill me, you better be damned. You'd be damned to not believe I wouldn't fight back. Pathetically, but I would. It'll be me or God that takes my life and nothing else. Have you ever prepared for your own death? Yes, I actually totally prepared to die. I prayed, I dressed up, I took action so that the action of it would happen. I knew who would find me. I was gonna fuck them up. Yeah, because that's not a very nice thing to let a homie know, is that, yeah, I knew you were going to come over the next day, and I just knew you would. I picked a homie who had already been scarred by having, like, wandered up on death. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'm all, hey, me too. Like, fuck whatever I mean to you. Am I still? Maybe. There's a way to buy death on Amazon for less than $50, less than $20. Sodium nitrate. Air guns. I'm looking at you. Am I preparing for my own death right now? A little bit. Always a little bit. What would you want on your gravestone? Well, I was born on the day May 22nd, 1991. So you should probably put my birth on there. For, you know, the sake of how we do gravestones. Maybe my own name, I guess. But maybe just put Amy. Although Thompson is just a name that's hard for me to live up to. Am I that good of a... I don't know if I'm going to be that good of a writer. I don't know if I'm going to be that brave with my suicide. To be a Thompson. Have you had grief that changed who you are? I was born on a Wednesday. Full of whoa. Grief is what I am. Not mad, just sad. Like the rainbows. No. Okay. What do you think happens when we die? Well, they were asking a really big... If you watch all of Verbal Autobiography, in which case you're like a fucking saint to do that. Like, I owe you a fucking drink if you've watched all of Verbal Autobiography. Jesus fucking Christ wouldn't even do it. But I don't believe in death necessarily the way we know it. I think that love is the energy that cannot be created or destroyed. And so in that vein of understanding, I don't think we die. I think that we watch our whole lives be told before everyone, before we die. And so that's why I hope to be such a good character, although I know I never am. I'm a good character, but I'm not the best. I'm not a fucking hero. Alright, hair spray. The face spray is like a problem right now. I'll try. It's like not a good face spray. Alright, so spraying and spraying. Because I'm gonna... Oh, actually... Oh yeah. Kind of did come up today. Existing's not easy. Good luck with it. Really comfortable. Pursue comfort. Because you deserve it. As long as it doesn't hurt someone else. Otherwise, it's going to come upon you and you're going to get fucked in the ass. Having been someone that's probably tried to get too much comfort off of the comfort of others, I know this. And buckle down for not death, because it looks like it's not death that's coming for us, but a whole lot of living. I need to see if we could hear what song is next. We could all hear what song is next. Could be anything.